Test, test, test. Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing tonight? Hello, Basher. Yo, what's up, Jade? How you doing? First time watching on a phone through YouTube. This is gonna be fun. Hey, welcome. Glad you're here. That's awesome. Yeah. Hope you enjoy the stream. We'll get started in a bit. I had the starting screen up probably for about 10 minutes. I'll probably give it another 5-10 minutes. Just let people file in. I'm also eating dinner, so I want to eat this pizza first. Oh my god, delicious. Nice thin crust cheese pizza from Target. Very amazing low calorie meal that I can just eat the whole thing of, and it's fantastic. Howdy. Yo, what's up? What's up? There we go. Oh my god, it was so good. Oh my god, I was starving. Wow. Alright, so what do we got going on over here? Let's take a look. Okay, we got the terminal open, we got the web browser open. Nice, nice. And we have the bash course where we left off last stream. Okay. You know what we could do? I didn't even think about this. I could just play some, like, waiting room music. Not, like, actual waiting room music, but, I just play music from my own album. Let's see if this works. Why is the chat replay disabled? That's lame. Okay. Let's try this. Pop open this. Nice. I will mute my mic, and you guys let me know how loud it is. Let me know if it's too loud. All right. Still got a couple slices left, but I'll eat them as the night goes on. What do you say we all get started? I apologize for the ASMR of me eating. Some people might like it, but I would hate it. Yo, nerds. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome, 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 everyone. So today we're going to do what we did last week. Last week I started working on my Bash course. So for anyone who's new here, I am creating a course to learn Bash and shell scripting and the terminal and Unix and all that fun stuff. I'm going to try to fit as much in it as I can without doing too much. You know what I mean? So I don't want to throw everything at a person, because if the guide's for everyone, then really the guide's for no one. So I got to make sure we have like a very focused plan for it. I don't know, lack of a better term there. So I'm thinking, excuse me. The goal is to make a course that is beginner friendly, but also can be used by, I would say, intermediate and advanced people. That's a hard thing to do, because you don't want to turn the advanced people away by having it be too beginner. But I think the thing you have to more worry about is turning beginners away by even touching on advanced concepts. So the course is going to start with like, you've never touched a terminal before. Here's really, really basic ways of getting you going. And then towards the end of it, we're going to be like, all right, let's look at, the linear lookup time of using an array data structure inside Bash, because we treat it like a programming language. Let's go pull open the source and see what that looks like. So we'll have everything in between, and I think it'll be good as long as we just correctly go from beginning to end. So that's my plan for this. We created this repo last week where we have a README and we have a notes.txt. So notes is just really small notes for myself, but README is like, who knows what this will actually look like at the end, but the README is where I'm going to outline the entire course. All right, give me a second. Hold on. My mom's calling me. Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm back. I have no idea where I left off. Yo, what's up, Ash? Welcome. Yeah, you joined right at the worst time. I got a call from my mom, so I just took that. Yo, what's up, Nick? How you doing? What's up, Daniel? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Bash Jesus, that's me. That is what they call me. I don't know where the name came from, but people seem to really like it, so whatever. It's gonna be devastating for you all when I cut my hair, because I usually let my hair grow out for a long time, and then I cut it real short, and then I kind of let it grow out. So once I cut my hair, and it's only like an inch short, I think it's gonna be very devastating for the people who think of me as Jesus. They'll be in for a rude awakening. What do you think, Ash? Should I go with short hair again? It's been a while. I was like, you've seen me with both. Don't cut. Yeah, we'll see. We'll make a petition. Oh my god. So you like the long hair? I was going to ask you, actually, if you liked it or not. I'm always curious what people prefer. Because I know some people who really prefer the short hair, and some people who really prefer the long hair. You like the long hair? That's awesome. Oh my god, those emotes. Do you think writing a bash script for making Tmux sessions is good practice? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you could do that. What do you mean good practice? Do you mean like is it a good way to practice writing bash, or do you mean good practices and that's a thing that people should do? Like I don't even know specifically really what you mean. Like, yeah, sure. I don't see a problem with that. Always crazy. We've never seen someone with short hair and no beard. Well, don't worry, the beard's never going away. I'm never getting rid of the beard. But I did have short hair before. I mean, I have a different YouTube channel that I used to upload to a couple years ago where I did music, and you could see what short hair Dave looks like. I mean, yeah. It happened to me when I cut my hair. Some people got disappointed, but it was great for me. Less work. And I think the short hair improved the way people look at me. Wow, you hit the nail on the head. Because I've gone from hair this length to short hair. And it was exactly that. Some people were disappointed, but some of those people don't know how much work it took. Other people do know how much work it took. Like I've had some girls who were like, oh, I loved your long hair, and they have hair longer than mine, and I know how much work they put into their hair, which is way more work than I put into my hair. But yeah, most people don't know how much work goes into it. And I don't even do much with my hair, to be honest. It is great for me because it's just less to worry about. And I will say, like, just you do get looked at by strangers differently. You get treated differently when you have short hair. I kind of get, I don't know, you get typecast, I think, by people. They look at me like I'm some sort of like bum or whatever, which is like whatever. I don't really care, but it is just definitely something you notice. Me and Ricky were disappointed. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I can disappoint you. I can disappoint Ricky. I'm fine with that. If all the people I disappoint are married women, then yeah, so be it. I'm going to disappoint married women. What can I say? Definitely a universal experience for long hair guys. Yo, 100,000%. Yes. Unless you do massive upkeep and walk around with like long hair, like, Jason Momoa or something, like you don't get treated with the same level of respect. I think best case scenario, you get neutral treatment. Like that's your best case. There's not much you can do, because if I pull it back into a ponytail, like, yeah, some people like this look, but I don't know why, but it just comes across as like, I don't know, kind of jerky. Like I'm gonna try and sell you an overpriced watch or something. But as your friend, in the end, it's your decision, your body, your choice. Oh yeah, this is. I said this on an Instagram story, and it's so funny. It's so funny because like I'll make these polls where I'm like, hey, what do you guys think I should do about this? And then people like get nervous. They're like, oh my god, please don't do this. Please don't like respect the polls. And I was like, oh my god, guys. I think so little of all of you that when I make a poll, I'm not going to do what any of you guys say. Like if I'm making a poll and I'm asking people for advice, I've pretty much already made up my mind and nothing you can say is going to sway me one direction or the other. So don't worry, Ash. Like in the end, it's your decision, your body, your choice. Yeah. Oh, I know that. I'm going to make my decision and everyone around me is going to live with it. And that's kind of how I live my life. And that works out really well. Yeah. Dave Eddie the Go. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome. I like how you I don't know, you've changed your name a couple different times, but I like Oxsec. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a cute name. I like because if you don't see it like stylized, you're like, oh, what is that? But it's like, no, that's the Oxsec, dude. That's a valid hex number plus Ox security. Like it works out so perfectly on so many different levels. Ash, I need advice. Does opposite. Listen, it's true. Even doing the opposite would be like too respectful. Hey Ash, I need advice. Ignores it. That's more like what happens. No, the problem is I'm actually very literal. So when I ask people like, hey, what's your opinion on my hair? They think it's like going to sway my decision. I'm like, I'm just asking for your opinion. Like, I don't, they could be like, oh, I love, there's a meme my buddy sent me and it was so perfect. Actually, it was, I shared it between, Ash and I was run like a girl. We shared this meme and it was so perfect. It was like going to the bar and they're like, yo, it's $1 beer night. It's like $1 beer night? That's fantastic. I'll take a rum and Coke. It's like, that's how I feel. Oh, you like my hair like this? Awesome. Let's go cut it. Like, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. But that one killed me. Oh, it's $1 beer night. $1 beer night. That's great. I'll take a rum and Coke. That one killed me. It's just too perfect. Oh, man. I'm in the weird in between. It's just long enough to tie it up, but both feel weird. Yeah, that is a weird in between. I just finally got out of that phase. Now mine's actually long enough where I can have like a ponytail and there's no like stray strands coming out. I don't know. It's been 3 years. I'm just kind of getting sick of it. It's been 3 years of long hair. I'm thinking it might be time for a change. I mean, here's a good snapshot in time. Can you see him? I can't really see his face, can you? Yeah, I mean, that's how... I mean, this is a stupid way to show it. That's what my hair looked like October 2022. That sounds right. October 2022, that was the length of it. And that was fine. But yeah, I had already been growing it out for like 6 months at that point. But yeah, I don't know what I'll do. Anytime I start hating my hair and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to cut it. I catch a glimpse of it like in the camera. I'm like, what? This looks sick. Why would I get rid of it? I look like a rocker, dude. Like, it's awesome. I look like I'd be in a band. I don't know. It's cool. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. What's the go-to pizza brand? Oh, man, that's a tough question. Oh, I want to give you so many good answers to this. All right. So, because I am in the process of cutting, I am on strict calorie restriction, and I've been on calorie restriction for the last 3 months. Shout out to me. Dropped 35 pounds since the summer. So that's insane. I was 265 over the summer, and I weighed in today at 229. So crushing it. My goal is to get down. We'll see if I can get to 200. We'll see if that's possible. Long story short, because of the calorie restriction, I have to do the thin crust pizza. This is from Target. Straight up just Target brand thin crust cheese pizza. Yeah, that's pretty much been my go-to. It's 1,000 calories for the entire pizza. I feel full at the end of it, and I can make it work with like protein shakes and other macro things like that. So I don't have to touch on it, which is super cool. Yeah, so that's kind of my go-to. When I am not on calorie restriction, oh man, dude, I could hit you up with some really good pizza places. But when it comes to like chains and stuff, chains where I can get them all over the country, dude, I'm classic, man. I like my Pizza Hut. I actually do like Domino's pizza. I think it'd be like Pizza Hut at the top, Domino's, Papa John's, Marco's Jets if you have those where you are. Yeah, love it. I love all that chain gross pizza. But my favorite types of pizza are like the crappy, I shouldn't say crappy, but you know what I mean, very divey, greasy pizzeria style pizza, the thick dough, the grease on top. When they cook the pepperoni, it gets all charred with the pool of grease. And I love that, man. I mean, I don't eat pepperoni, but like, you know, I love places that make pizza like that. God, it's delicious. That was such good pizza. This is supposed to be a programming live, and I'm just sitting here eating, talking about food. I hope y'all are okay with that. I do like that. I do like that live audiences that are cool with, like, you talking about whatever. Like, my prepared content, I usually keep it tech related, but when I'm live, like, I can kind of just do whatever I want. I think that's pretty sick. Prefer it, even. What do you prefer specifically? I'm curious what that was in reference to. Actually, the ox is here. Hold on. I have some things that I think you would enjoy. That sounds wild. Let me explain what I mean. Where is it? You ready for this? Check this out. I have this button. There we go. Now we have the piano. And I've seen you, Ox. You've posted this band a couple different times, and we have this band in common. Did I talk to you about this? But oh boy, it makes me so happy to see you post this band, because they're one of my favorite bands. Let's see if I remember some of their songs. Nope. Octave up. Oh, God. All their songs are so good. Yes. Yes, Ash, you understand him. Him is absolutely one of my favorite bands. Dude, this angle is wild. You just get like a perfect shot of my Uncle Uh-Oh Stinky shirt. Like, yeah. I said it was the long hair that makes it so people don't take me seriously. I think it's the shirt, too. I don't think that helps. What are some other hymn songs? This is a guitar, I think, but I played on piano. What is it? What is it? What is it? Killing Loneliness, man. Killing Loneliness. Oh, man. I remember Dark Light coming out, dude. That was such a good album. Oh, my God. The nostalgia. That's right. That's right. You being at ease, chill, talking about food while prepping for your core stuff. Dope. Yo, I'm glad people like it. I'm glad people like it. I feel like 16-year-old me. Yo, that's so true, Ash. Actually, wait. I might be like perfectly correct. I'd have to redo some math. When did Dark Light come out, the album? 2005? 2006? Probably 2006. I think Love Metal was 2003, right? Oh, Beyond Redemption, dude. What a good song. There's something funny about this guy. Complete doppelganger of Bam Margera, and also listen to him. Yo, I know. Growing up, looking like Bam Margera and listening to him, dude, I got all the girls because of it. I just... It sounds like a joke, but it helped a ton. Oh my God, dude. I love him. Oh my God, what a good band. What's the other... Oh, man. Oh, bring out the big guns. Is it... Am I in tune? Hold on. love that. I love this. Just these two notes when they're the same. Oh man, because all I hear is Opeth. The action on this guitar is so bad. I gotta fix it. But yeah, one of the hymn songs. Which one is it? Something like that. I think it's For You. Oh man, what a good song, dude. And then Beyond Redemption. So good, dude. Oh, what's the other one? Wait, hold on. I got one more. Then I'll stop. No one knows what is. That's a different song. No. What? Yeah, they're very similar. No one knows what it's like. Because even that's the Who, and the guitar, the way the Who does it. Because then there's the Limp Bizkit cover where they do slightly different notes. I'd have to remember this. It's all gone away from me now. Oh man. I'm done. No one knows what it's like to be Batman. I think that's the song. All right. We're 40 minutes into it. You guys ready to actually start working? I don't think I am. What's another hymn song? That's not him. That's Muse. What's another Muse song? Nice. Okay. We in it now. Let's get some outlining done, and then we'll call it a night. Any tips on learning piano? No, man, I'm sorry. I don't have any tips for learning the piano. I wish I did. I mean, my tip for learning the piano is my tip for learning anything. Practice. Practice. Oh, but I wasn't born with that skill. Yeah, okay. And you know what? Babies aren't born knowing how to walk. So, like, you got to learn everything. So, practice. My answer is always practice. That's it. Those are the notes that were eluding me. Okay. We back in it, boys. Let's do this. So we have become proficient at using the terminal and creating bash scripts. That is the goal of the bash course, isn't it? This is for Dave, not for advertising, meaning this is how I understand the bash course. Let's reacquaint ourselves and figure out where we were. What it is, a long video broken into chapters that will live on YouTube for free. Any supplemental material will live on GitHub in a repo specific to this course. Probably this repo, lol. Sup, lads? Yo, what's up, Captain January? How you doing? Example. So an example would be a 6-hour video total, 20-minute sections, 18 chapters. Okay. 20-minute sections equal 18 chapter? Okay, so it's chapter is a section by this definition. Okay. Also upload as 18 smaller videos in a playlist. Yeah, that's fine. I think my goal should be to make chapters and then put them together into a big video, but then also figure out a way to publish the chapters. Maybe me at the beginning explaining what it is. I don't know. We'll get to that. That might be something I worry about during editing. Who it's for. The absolute beginner and the person who wants to look inside bash.c and everyone in between. That's a lofty goal, Dave. 0 to 100%, from absolute beginner to proficient and comfortable on the CLI only interface. Cool. Dig into the source code, look at how things are implemented, complex data structures in bash, basically how to think of bash as a programming language more than a scripting language. Awesome. Yeah, so this reminds me, I'm going to write this down, similar to video games with 101% completion. 0 to 100% will get you all the knowledge to feel proficient and be done. Everything beyond that is bonus / DLC / for those that want a real challenge. That's what I want. That's how I envision this. So if my course is a 6-hour video, the first 5.5-hour videos will get you from 0 to 100% and you're done. If you want to stay on, we're going to go deep. That's how I envision it. What you'll learn, what a terminal is, how it interacts with your system, and how you can see that through Finder, Explorer, File Manager, etc. Showing the CLI interacting with the GUI. Awesome. What a shell is, fundamentally a REPL, and how we can interact with it via commands, external and built-in. Basic file system manipulation, and visual real-time representation. Okay, file system, oh, that's a fine word. And real-time, let's add those to our word list, because those are real words. Create, delete list files. Maybe you convert a WebP to a JPEG. Hey, that's a good example of why things are useful. Even if you're a designer, I can show you how to convert a Photoshop document, a PSD, into a PDF or something on the command line. Hey, that's pretty neato. Basic task automations with scripts, how to take a series of commands and run them all at once. Complex task automations with scripts, introduce conditional branching, string manipulation. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Finally, feeling proficient in a CLI environment, be able to edit files, nano and vim, and rename them in bashes. Example, mismatch of .jpeg and .uppercase JPEG files, normalize them. Cool, this all makes sense. What you need, a computer with a terminal emulator. Okay, so most computers. Mac with terminal at app, show a little iTerm and bash. Linux with a terminal, Windows with WSL. Let me think about this. Question. If I record this course on my Mac, should I start with bash 3.2 on terminal.app? This one's tough. Here's my dilemma. If I record this on my Mac, I want to be I want it to be relevant to anyone who wants to learn it. So I should probably start with the software they would start with, which would be terminal.app and the Z shell, because that's what you get when you boot it up for the first time. On my Mac, I use iTerm 2 and I use bash through Homebrew. There's a lot of stuff that had to go into making that work. By contrast, if I recorded this on like a freshly installed Ubuntu machine and just did like a screen recording of it, that could make my life pretty easy. Because if I recorded it on Ubuntu, then I would just whatever Linux. It doesn't have to be Ubuntu, but I figure, make this as widely available. Because my idea is, if you're a beginner, you might be comfortable trying to learn out Ubuntu. And if you're advanced, you understand that you don't need to be on Ubuntu. You could be on whatever operating system you want. Like, you know that. That's how it goes. When you're more proficient at things, you know that some of these beginner things are not for you. Ghosty and Helix editor boy. Yeah, well, I need to make this course. I want to make it as widely acceptable as possible. But I'm definitely going to show off like the tools that I use, because I'm sure people will have questions about that. Like, one of the things that I haven't really taken any courses myself, but from what I see, people, especially people in the DM saying this, like, they take a course, they feel really good, but then the course just kind of kicks them out the same way a parent kicks you out when you're 18. You're like, wait, I actually don't know where to go. Like, this hasn't actually prepared me for anything. So I want to show like, okay, here's the knowledge, but then here's how I do it. I'm an engineer, here's the work I do. Here's how to download iTerm 2. Here's how to download Ghosty. Here's how to download Helix. Here's how to download NeoVim. Like, the sky's the limit here. If I record on Ubuntu, I'd have the latest bash with no external steps needed. Yeah, because it's not... I think what we have to do here is we have to decide, what is this course going to be? Like, I know we've talked about it above. Is it primarily a bash course, or is it primarily a using the terminal course? If it's primarily a using the terminal course, then I'd be okay starting someone off on Z shell and terminal on app and showing really basic Unix, LS, sort, real basic terminal stuff. But if we're going into advanced bash, which I do want to go into, like I'm the bash guy. I know that's my thing. I know that's how people think of me, and I'd be the person to talk about this. If I'm the bash guy, I should be showing bash, and if you're on a Mac, you're not going to have bash by default. So do I cover my installation of bash on a Mac, or would that be too confusing and off-putting? Because when do I cover that? Do I cover that right at the beginning? All right, before we can get started, guys, we're going to go ahead and install the Homebrew Package Manager. We're going to install bash. We're going to use chsh command to change your shell. We're going to reload a new tab. Like, that's so much. To anyone who knows this stuff, yeah, that's fine. These are a couple commands. Like, fine. It's not a big deal. But if you're a beginner, that's incredibly off-putting. I think I'm going to have to record this on a Linux desktop. Like, I think I will have to screen record a Linux desktop to do this. I think that's what I have to do. Yeah, I think that's my choice. I don't think I have a choice here. I think I have to record this whole thing on a fresh, install of Ubuntu, whether it's in a virtual machine or not. Who knows? Maybe I'll even just do it on my Mac as some sort of virtual machine. I don't know. We'll get something that works really fast. Yeah, we'll figure out the logistics later, but I think I have to reach for Linux. I think I have to. That sounds like a lot. It does, doesn't it? Like, I could show that. It's so tough. I might have to think on this more, but I don't want to overwhelm someone with having to install bash, but bash 3.2 can't do the advanced things that we want. Hey guys, first comment on YouTube ever. Yo, welcome. Glad you're here. If you're going to go down that rabbit hole, just do a Linux VM install tutorial. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't want this to be an everything tutorial, because if it's an everything tutorial, then it's a nothing tutorial. It needs to be focused. I want to include everything I can possibly include, but I don't. Like, I want to include everything that's relevant. It needs to be focused. I think that's very important. So the idea is, what gives us the minimal on-ramp to creating a focused course? I think it's going to be Ubuntu on a desktop machine. But that raises the question, who is this targeting? Like, is this someone who's learning how to do this stuff? Maybe they only have a Mac, or will most people have Windows? I truly don't know what the most used desktop operating system out there is. Like, I literally do not know the answer to that. But I also know this. People who don't know this stuff think all of this is Linux. I know that. I encounter this all the time. I use Mac as my desktop, and I use Illumos on the server. And when I talk about bash and programming, everyone's like, "Wow, this guy's a Linux god." It's like, I know very little about that operating system. I'm sure I know more than a lot of people do, but like, my point is, these aren't all Linux, but everyone thinks of it as all Linux. So if I'm worried about discoverability and searchability of this course, then having Linux in it is probably a really good thing. So. Bare metal or VirtualBox? I don't know yet. I don't know. We have to figure out what it's going to look like. I literally do not know the answer to this question. Why can't ZSH alone be used? Missing features? I don't know it. If this was a beginners only course, if I was just going into beginners topic and nothing else advanced, then ZSH would be fine. But I don't know any of the advanced features that ZSH has. I just know Bash. Bash is what I know. So that's why this is going to be focused on Mash. How complicated is it to spin up a Linux VM on a Mac? I have no idea. I have no idea what is involved with that, but I'm not worried about that at all. I'm not worried about the implementation here. I'll grab a laptop, install Linux on it, and put a monitor in front of me. I'll just use my monitor and record it with a HDMI capture card. Like, I'm not... What it looks like for me having to record the whole thing doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that it's presented to the user in a way that makes the most sense. Most Windows users can run WSL, and more people are using that nowadays. Yeah, that's what I have here, if you see right here. So in order to run my course, you'll need Mac with Terminal app, you'll need Linux with the terminal, or you'll need Windows with WSL. That's for people to figure out. I'm just trying to figure out, for me, how should I record the course? Because it's going to be largely a screen recording and me talking over it. It won't be that boring, but it'll be edited. But yeah. Let's see. It advertises all Bash features. That's very little research, though. Yeah, it's different than Bash. It does things differently. Its rules for word splitting are slightly different. I would just run into weird issues with it that I don't usually run into with Bash. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. I'm more comfortable in Bash, so that's why I would teach it. Yeah. So I have to think about. We have to imagine. Here's what we have to imagine. This course, we have to imagine the target demographic for this course, and maybe I just need to make it more defined. If it's the absolute beginner and we throw them a Linux desktop, is that too much? Is this a person who wants to learn Linux and doesn't really know where to go? Man, this is tough. It's not tough, actually. The more I think about this, the more I think Linux is the right answer here. Linux on a desktop. Hey guys, we have a fresh install of Linux on a desktop or a laptop or whatever. Let's start with this. You want to learn this stuff? Here is your desktop environment. Proxmox for the setup? I've never used Proxmox in my life. I have no idea how that works. I don't think we're going to need virtual machines for this. Let's see. No, I meant that as a starting point for the user. That's going to be basically the same regardless of Windows, Linux, Mac. Live Ubuntu and VirtualBox, download, boot, and you're in the same place. Oh, I see. Okay, if I'm helping if I'm imagining the on-ramp for the user, how can they follow along with this? Oh, do you want to follow along with this? Fine, download VirtualBox, boot up Ubuntu, and here you go. You're in the same environment that I am. I see what you're saying. That's a good point to consider that. Because if I can make the environment that I set up replicatable to an environment someone else could set up, then, hey, that's pretty good. I should look into that. I don't have knowledge of VirtualBox or any of that stuff. I don't know what any of those tools look like. I don't bother with them. And it's because of my own, not my own bias, but my own knowledge pool. I use Illumos on the server. I create a Beehive virtual machine, which is FreeBSD's virtualization system for hardware virtualization. And then I use that to virtualize Linux if I need it, or even a desktop environment in Linux. So that's the virtualization I'm comfortable with. So I've never used desktop virtualization, stuff like that. I'm sure it's simple. I'm sure I just download is it VirtualBox? Is that what it is? You just download that and you give it an ISO and it probably just boots up. I'm sure it's probably that simple. I doubt that many things have changed since then. But yeah, I'd have to figure out that. That's a good point. Let me write this down. What, you need a computer with a terminal emulator. A virtualized instance of... This is important too. If a person's going to run it, then Mac does put a cost on it, whereas Linux doesn't. Yeah, you need hardware, but Mac, you can't run that on other pieces of hardware without actually breaking their terms of service. Linux, you can. Virtualized instance of Linux. Maybe show how the user can install VBox to follow along at home and have the same environment that I have. Okay. environment. There we go. Nailed it. I would keep it at the shell, then just do something like multipass so it's Ubuntu, all low barrier, easy to access on all the platforms. I have no idea what multipass is. Or a Docker container image. Yeah, I don't want... Maybe. Here's my issue. I'm already biased by everyone who's in this chat and myself because we all know this stuff. If you follow me, you're a tech person. If you're finding me on Twitch, I'm in the software category. So already I've limited my audience to people who are comfortable with stuff. So when we think of solutions that are easy, like just use a Docker container, like, yeah, that's super easy. But to people who have never touched any of this stuff before, absolutely not. That is not easy at all. So, yeah. Yo, what up, Turkey? How you doing, man? Turkey, I've been snowboarding so much lately that my watch is actually yelling at me. Literally, my watch is yelling at me. It says my training status is strained, and I've been doing too much load lately on working out. Like, my heart rate's been too high for too long because I won't stop. It's just so much fun. So I actually forced myself to take a day off. I wasn't going to stream today. I literally was going to go see if I could, crush the mountains for a couple hours because it's just been so much fun to get back out there. But yeah. Let's see. Multipass is Canonical's VM manager with blueprints for predefined setups. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that was a thing. That's awesome. Let's see. If I may, I've got some experience in Linux-based education platform delivery. Many of the solutions we implemented was based on K8. Is that Kubernetes? I don't know. I very rarely touch this stuff via Xterm or the browser. That's interesting. That's super interesting. I choose Bash and link to another tutorial on how to set it up on Mac. Yeah, I got to figure out. I have to put some thought into this. Let's go. That's dope. I went last Saturday. So much fun, dude. It's awesome, man, dude. I love it. It's so good. Oh man. I always think I have a couple friends that even tell me I got to hit up Colorado sometime and see some of those mountains down there. I know they're supposed to be insane. I've never been down there. So, but I've been to Colorado, but I've never been on their mountains. Yeah, man. Okay, yeah, it is Kubernetes. Okay, at least I know that. I sometimes know what I'm talking about. Most people probably have a Windows laptop, so you can start with buying a ThinkPad off eBay and installing Ubuntu on it. Yeah, don't worry. I have a ThinkPad, actually. I have an X1 Carbon from 2018 that I used to use as a daily driver for Void Linux. So, yeah, I could at least do that. Finding or hosting a web shell. Yeah, I want this to be... Let's think about this. Let's back up here. Let's start writing down some ideas and figure out what we want. Yeah. Brainstorming. Here's what we're gonna do. How should I record the demos / how do I want people to follow along at home? Do people have Windows, Mac, Linux? Should it matter? Or should I give them access to some virtualized environment where I can ensure it works as we expect and rule out any invariants? I think that makes sense. Yeah, web shell could be something. That's an interesting theory. I mean, how does your Vim scroll smoothly? Does it? I mean, I don't know. It just scrolls one column at a time or one line at a time. I'm not sure what you're seeing. I'm just doing J and K. Well, I'm on Dvorak, so they look like C and V, but because here's the deal. If we're just doing terminal, because what I wanted to show, here's what I envision. You never touched a terminal before. You're afraid of this little black box with white text. You don't know what you're doing. I can show you a window with a bunch of folders and files like your desktop. I can show you a terminal where I CD in your desktop, and then I can make changes and you can watch them happen in real time. So, I CD your desktop and I touch foo.txt. You see foo.txt appear like that on your desktop. I think that's a very powerful thing to see for someone. Because then it kind of creates the link that your terminal is always operating inside a directory, just like all processes on a Unix-based system. And then you can do things like list those files, modify those files, manipulate things on your file system, and really see them show up. And I can kind of drill in the concept that your GUI isn't your source of truth. Your terminal isn't your source of truth. They both show you what your file system has. So it's not like one is more real than the other. They're just two different ways of representing the data that's already there. And I think that's an important concept for people to understand. I think that could be helpful. So I do like the idea of having a GUI with it, because if I went with some sort of web shell, I could teach like very advanced bash scripting stuff, but I do think it's sometimes useful to see how it interacts with files and folders and things like that. So yeah. Record the demo on my ThinkPad with the latest Ubuntu desktop HDMI capture or screen record my mic and camera separately. I think that's all I need would be a screen recording my mic and my camera. That's it. I can instruct others how to get started and possibly even virtualize their own environment. Is this not a word? Virtualize? Did I spell this wrong? Looks right to me. We'll add that to my dictionary. I think it's also important to give people an easy option to reset everything in case they break something and don't know how to fix it. Yeah, that's true. That's one of the nice things about no, So, this is so tough. I agree with what you say, but I don't know if I agree with the implementation. I agree that it's important to give people an easy option to reset everything in case they break something and don't know how to fix it. But that doesn't mean I should abstract everything. And I don't think you're saying this. I'm just saying I know this can be taken too far, because I've known people who have taken computer science degrees or adjacent degrees more recently, and they do these things on the web with like REPLs and notebooks, and it's, in my opinion, it's too abstracted. If you take away this person's play button next to their code, they don't know what to do. And I don't want that. I want to hold someone's hand, but not hold them back. Does that make sense? Like, I want to be like the training wheels that are the gut. I want to be the gutter ball. Those things, the things in the gutter, the rails. I want to be the guardrails where if you're doing everything right, you don't even notice I'm there. But if you do something very horribly wrong, we can get you back on the right track. I think that's what I want to be in this lesson. So I do think Linux might be the way to do it. My whole demo will be on a Linux machine. Maybe I'll learn how to virtualize it through a VirtualBox or something. My whole demo will be on an Ubuntu desktop machine, recorded at 1080p, so I can use it as a perfect backdrop and zoom in when I need to. And then I can instruct people to install Linux on their own machine or, virtualize it. I won't dwell on that too much. Yeah. And then I think we go from there. I think that's the way to do this. Let's see. I would think most beginner Bash learners would want to learn how to install Linux on a machine. There seems to be a lot of dissatisfaction with latest Windows updates. That's possible. True. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Found some links that might be interesting. I mean, send them. I don't know if YouTube lets you send them or not. I have no idea. Let them swim, but be prepared to jump in after them. Yeah, yeah. You should be able to link to a VBox specific ISO. I forget the name they use. Okay, so let me do this. I have a notes file. Okay. So yeah, we can give them a, I think in an ideal world, let's not even talk about implementation. In an ideal world, I can point people to say like, hey, if you want to follow along at home and you're comfortable on your own machine, go for it. Hey, you know, you're on Mac and I'm on Linux, but you can translate that in your head. Hey, go for it. It's all you. Like, I want this to be accessible to advanced people as well. But if you're an absolute beginner, I can give you a nice little virtual machine where you can start off doing all this work and you're not going to touch your own files and you're going to be completely safe and give you a nice little environment to do it in. I think that's fair. Let's see. You could set it up or just give them a base to build off of, but it's free and easy for anyone to get started. Okay, you make a good VBox salesman. But yeah, I'm gonna check this out because that would be, I think that'd be ideal. Already doing this in your terminal is crazy. This is how I work. This is how I store my notes. Like this is why I want to share this with others. Like I'm so insanely productive in my terminal. Like I can't imagine not having a terminal. Step 0, let's install Gentoo. That'd be fun. Pull up the Gentoo handbook and just be like, all right, now we're gonna, you know, run fdisk on our machine and we're gonna create some partitions on it. Cool. Now we're gonna go create file systems on those partitions. Awesome. Now we're gonna, you know, put a tarball on that file system. Let's mount it. Let's chroot into it. Let's start, you know, the base bootstrap process. Yeah, fun stuff. Vagrant to ISO workflow. Yeah, I have no idea how that works, so that could be relevant here. I literally have no idea. I've never used Vagrant. Is that actually how you install Gentoo? I mean, the steps I just listed are like how you install any operating system. That was just very generic, but like, yeah, if I was gonna install an operating system, like, you can install any operating system like that way, like any sort of Linux. Like I actually installed a Void Linux from an Illumos live CD because it doesn't really matter what's running to install something else. But yeah, from like for the Void Linux installer, it's very similar to any sort of Linux you would do that. You'd boot into a live CD, fdisk-l to find all your disks, figure out the disk you want to write it to, run fdisk on it, create the partitions. You probably need like a boot partition, a swap partition, and then the rest of it for data. Then you have to actually like set their mount points, and then so you'd have to like grub install on whatever your boot one is. Mount your data one to like /mount, mount the boot one to /mount boot, cd into /mount, chroot into that directory. Now you're inside that one, like, or untar the files there first. Like, yeah, I mean, this is just basic like Linux installation 101. Vagrant uses Ruby to define Linux VMs on hypervisors. Interesting. God, I hate Ruby. Puppet and Chef. Ugh, the worst. Yeah. I don't want this. I'm stuck here. I shouldn't be stuck here. I should move on. I don't want this to be a thing that get people stuck on. I don't want to dwell on how to set this up. I want this to be easy and approachable to people, but I also don't want to get stuck in the weeds of implementation. I don't want this to be, how do I put this? I don't want this to be so incredibly implementation focused, but it is going to have to be slightly opinionated. I'm going to have to say like, hey, here's how we're going to do it. Yeah, sure, there's other ways, but we got to get this tutorial moving somehow. Like, we have to edit a file. We're going to use Vim. Can we talk about Vim versus Emacs? Fine. We don't have 5 hours. Like, no, we're picking one. We're moving with it. We're going forward with it. You want to learn on your own time? Good for you. I have to take that mentality with this, or else we're not going to get anything done. You have to take that mentality in tech a lot, which is fine. Like, otherwise you would be in paralysis analysis. You wouldn't be able to move anywhere. All I remember is putting Ubuntu on a thumb drive and hitting F12 on boot or something. I don't know. Okay. I'm glad you said that. That kind of helps bring me back to earth, actually. Some of the stuff I've done for too long, I don't know what's obvious to other people and what's not. And that's not weird and judgmental. I don't mean it that way. I mean, like, literally, this is why I like getting insight from other people, because, yeah, sometimes I gloss over things that aren't meant to be glossed over just because I have so much experience with them. I've touched them a lot. Apropos the terminal, a friend of mine once spent an hour connecting via WinSCP on a Raspberry Pi just to open the terminal there instead of using SSH. That was peak comedy. Isn't WinSCP just to, like, SCP files? How would you even open a terminal through that? I mean, you probably can. I'm sure WinSCP probably does more than just SCP files. I can forgive you for not using Nano, but it was hard. Oh my god. Yeah, I used Nano 15 years ago. Looking at the multi-pass docs, it looks pretty good. Max 2 steps to get the Ubuntu LTS running. I'll look that up. But what is that multi-pass stuff? Is that when you say get it running, am I running it through a website, or am I running it on an already existing Ubuntu install? Or is this like a program I can download on my Mac and run? I guess that kind of matters. Analysis paralysis stops so many youngsters, man. It does. Oh, man, it does. I have to say, like, for people that are younger than me, you guys are all screwed. No, I'm kidding. But for people that are younger than me, it's tough because, like, I didn't grow up with, you know, social media and all that stuff being as prevalent as it was. So I didn't have any sort of inclination to compare myself to other people. So I didn't know that there were a whole bunch of people better than me out there. And so because that didn't stop me, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm working on this. This thing's great. This thing's great. And then of course, you know, I realized it wasn't. I feel like for youngsters, they kind of realize it's not as great before they even get started, and it just stops you before you start. And that sucks, man. That totally sucks. It's on Windows, Mac, and Linux, existing machine. It's a desktop VM software. Oh, okay. Interesting. You want an advanced bash course, not a guide to build the universe. Exactly. Yep. I don't want a guide to build the universe, but I want a guide to build the world that we're going to use, if that makes sense. I don't want to build the universe, but I want to build a world that works for us. So I pulled up this multipass stuff. I don't know what this was. I know about the CloudInit stuff. I've seen that. Oh, God, wouldn't strictly recommend, but a quick temporary Linux environment like JS Linux could be super easy. Just click install full terminal environment. I don't even know what JS Linux is. Learning Vim skyrocketed my bash CLI understanding and comfortability. It literally is improved the name. Yeah, I think the improved is not for improving bash and CLI. I think improved is because it improved on VI. Could start in Docker and just start cooking. Yeah. My problem is not how I continue. My problem is making this accessible to people that want to take the course. I can jump in anything and just start going. I already have virtual machines ready for me to start testing on. I'm not worried about that. I have a hypervisor downstairs that I can create virtual machines on, but not everyone has that. So I need to I got to meet people at least halfway. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Transmission to ground. You nailed it. Wow, okay, so multipass really is on everything. That's crazy. But it's so tough. Here's my problem. Here's my philosophical issue. These pieces of software are probably great for the job, Docker, multipass, VirtualBox, all that stuff. And I understand a course can't be relevant forever, but I don't want it to be so vendor locked or tied into a specific piece of hardware or software. That's my only concern. So I might have to do more just thinking about this on my own and figure out exactly what I want out of this. How long did your Devorak transition take? How long have you used it? I'll link you to a video where I talk about it. Because there's a long story. It's not too long of a story. There is a story behind it. Hold on a minute. Let me just do this. How do I get my own channel? Where's my account? I made a whole video on it. God, how many videos have I made? Oh, hold on. I'm sharing my terminal. Or, yeah, hold on. I was already sharing the right video before. Devorak. Here we go. Yeah, I have a video where I talk about it. I will link this bad boy to you. I would view Bash as the spaceship to explore more of the world and university described, then have a course that branch off. Keeping the course contained would be good. Just my opinion. I wish I had started learning Bash before many other things. Just now really started to get better idea on its depth. Yeah. I think I might have to take it to be that way. Like, simplest solution, link to a few hypervisors and let the viewer decide. I think you're right. I actually think that is the solution. I think that I need to stop dwelling on this. I think that this is outside the scope of the course. I think that this will show you how to get comfortable with the terminal, and I'll explain how to get there, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Like, we find ourselves on an Ubuntu machine. You can get here through virtual machines. You can get here through installations on your own physical hardware, but here is where I am. Here are my videos, and I do want you to follow along, but if you're not able to, you should still be able to learn everything from my course. Following along, I think, will be key for people's understanding. I think it's really important to put the work in, but the whole tutorial will be there where you could learn everything without following along theoretically. You know what I mean? Let's see. JS Linux is a locally running Linux on a website. Oh, that's cute. That's really funny. Make everybody work a little and make them install everything. Putting in some effort makes people more committed to learning. I think that's true too. VirtualBox stuff is for absolute beginners, so I think it'd be okay to accept some vendor lock-in for ease of use. Yeah, I can understand that. Seems like you can link a few options, VBox, VMware, Proxmox, and just use a standard Ubuntu ISO. Users can follow along with the one you install itself. Yeah, that's basically the similar solution. Yeah, I think that might be what I go with. Clean Bash is timeless. All the tooling mentioned will date it quickly. That's my concern. That's my concern. Like, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've been in this industry long enough where it's like I hear these terms and I'm like, these aren't going to be around forever. And maybe they will be, but I can't gamble on that. Yeah. I can gamble on like a roulette wheel, but not gonna gamble on what technology is going to survive or which one's going to still be around. Oh, I turned my volume down. Okay. Well, you learn what you need. All right, here we go. Course implementation. A multi-hour video containing footage from my camera. Let's see. Containing face cam and desktop footage recorded on the latest Ubuntu desktop ISO, virtualized or hardware, it doesn't matter. Spend some time explaining how to set up your own test environment, but leave it mostly up to the watcher to figure out. If you do a single video, please do chapter time. Yeah, don't worry about that. That's all going to be taken care of. I put it somewhere in here. I don't know. I can't go over it again. But yeah, it's going to be one big giant video that is broken into chapters, and the chapters will be on YouTube as actual chapters, but I will also upload them as separate videos in a playlist. It'll be available in every way that people can want it to be available in. So don't worry about that. That will definitely be the case. Let's see. Recorded on the latest at the time, Ubuntu desktop ISO, virtualized or hardware, it doesn't matter. Spend some time explaining how to set up your own test environment, but leave it mostly up to the watcher to figure out. This will be in the course itself. So sometime down here where I describe the chapters, I'll put it in there. Okay. You would need to explain that the user at last needs to get... Yes. Yeah, I know. Yep. I'm aware of that. Right here. I got that covered. Don't worry. Can I watch the entire thing split into a billion short videos with a half tutorial, half Subway Surfers? You know, it's so funny that you say that. I've actually been thinking about... I've been thinking about a lot of things. I have so many stupid content ideas. I was going to take some of my old You Suck at Programming videos and stitch them into short form content and just put like Subway Surfers gameplay and just like a bunch of Vine booms in it. I have so many dumb ideas. One of the ideas I came up with though would be writing my own game, creating my own very simple game, but it'd be like a Subway Surfer style satisfying video type of game specifically to put at the bottom of vertical videos. So I could just like start a video, like, you know, a fake podcast, be like, yes, I mean, game development's really interesting. In fact, one of the games that I've been working on is not really a game. It's just meant to look good. It's specifically for TikTok videos. In fact, if you're watching this video right now, that's it. That's footage from the game that I wrote. It's free. It's open source. Go run it yourself. Go get your own footage. I put some up on YouTube. Feel free to use it. I got sick of seeing games that I didn't care about or seeing the same 3 games in these videos. So I released this footage for free to you in the world. Just credit me. Have a good one. So I want to do something like that. I think that'd be kind of fun. Cool. All right. I'm going to take a little 1-minute break. I'm going to grab something to drink. I can feel myself getting weirdly frustrated, and I feel like I'm venting at the audience, and that's not fair to you guys. So just give me a moment. I'll be good. I'll come back, and I'll have renewed energy. All right, I'm back. Oh, let's see. But yeah, I do want to make like a Subway Surfer style game or something. It'd be so fun. Like it wouldn't even be really a game, just like something that creates visuals or something fun like that, and just try to get it out there in the world and be like, guys, just put this out there. It's more interesting to watch than Minecraft parkour or Subway Surfers. Yo, what's up, Seek? How you doing, man? Welcome. You love the music? Yeah, sometimes I just gotta break into it. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Multi-hour video containing facecam and desktop footage recorded on the latest at the time Ubuntu desktop iStove, virtualized or hardware, it doesn't matter. Spend some time explaining how to set up your own test environment, but leave it mostly up to the watcher to figure this out. They'll be in the course itself. Okay. Let's go down to our chapters and let's start writing some chapters. So at our current thing, 6 hours, 20, so 6 times 3, 18. These are rough estimates. But basically, if we have a 6-hour video where each chapter is 20 minutes, then that gives us 18 total chapters. Rough estimates, but, you know, just kind of give us a light target to focus in on. What is a terminal? Talk about 1970s computers, terminal emulators for modern PCs, basic text rendering on a monospace font, 80 by 10, 24, or 80 by 24, ASCII, VT100, all that stuff. Why are they useful? No GUI. And why they're still useful? No GUI today. Awesome. Shells run in the terminal. Segue into the next chapter. So what is a shell? Basic input output, REPL, simple iteration loop, state machine, maybe. Managing command executors and optionally displaying to the above terminal. Recap, shells run in the terminal. Let's do some, I don't know, things to cover. Yeah, let's throw these here. I guess they're all technically things to cover. Basically, shells run in the terminal. No output is good. Error loudly. Yeah, no output is good. Error loudly. So silence is usually an indication of good. Thanks for doing this. The world needs more education and less AI. And you're an awesome teacher too. I'm 75, so used to Unix Bash, but today's kids need to learn Legacy too. Yo, I appreciate it. I'm assuming 1975, but yeah, yo, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't know, man. This world, this world of Unix in the terminal and small programs that do one thing and do one thing well. Like all of this is just my secret way of getting the Unix philosophy out there. Like it's just so incredible. It's such a good way of thinking about things and problem solving. It's been so incredibly useful to me. The least I could do is, you know, give back to people and show them the world that's been so helpful to me. Let's see. No output is good. Error loudly. Bash is a shell, just like born, CSH, fish, PowerShell, new shell, KSH, CSH. I already said that. Etc. 1975. Yes. Gotcha. Cool. What is a terminal? What is a shell? I think we just jump into it. Because, okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm picturing this as like a YouTube video, right? Imagine, oh my God, you know what I should do? I should come up with like a thumbnail for this video, like just like what a potential thumbnail could do for this on YouTube, because then that might help us figure out like what would be in the video. Like if you saw this thumbnail, what would you want this video to cover, type of thing. Because I'm imagining like you click on a video where it's like, I don't even know what the title would be called, right? But we'll come up with some sort of, YouTube title. Yeah, become proficient in using high-level overview, course outline, metadata. This is just until we find a place for it. Title. This would be like what the YouTube title would be. Bash and Linux terminal full course. I don't know. We'll come up with like a whole bunch of different variations on this full guide. The complete course. From beginner to hacker. No, that's lame. Something like this, I'm thinking. From beginner to advanced, bash and shell scripting and command line wizardry. Bash, shell scripting, and command line wizardry. Obviously, all these are up for, this is not going to be this is just a working title. But yeah. Explain how to navigate the system via the shell. Don't worry, we're getting there. Yeah, so I'm thinking like with a title like this, if you clicked on it, what would you expect? What would you be happy about seeing? I think a lot of people are intimidated by it. Yes, yes, agreed. I think there are a lot of people who are intimidated by it, and I need to show that this is not intimidating. So I should stress that the thumbnail should be like, not scary or something. Not scary. Don't be intimidated. I could have like a, like, don't be intimidated. I'm just a normal guy, guys. Like, anyone can do this. With the good old terminal icon somewhere in the thumbnail. Yeah. Signing out, 2 a.m. local time. Chad, take care, Dave, so we get a bash course and not ask the AI for help. Yeah, have a good night, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Command line wizardry, including the GNU core utils. Yeah, I think I'll most likely be covering core utils and stuff like that. Not scary, don't be intimidated. I'm just gonna put this in the metadata section. Like, this all needs to go into a good title and a good thumbnail collection. Like, please don't be afraid of this. Like, we'll get you going. Rated E for everyone. I'm writing that down because that's incredible. That's actually what I want. 100%. The hell just fell? Huh. An old ink cartridge for the printer just fell. I couldn't even told you where that was. All right. What am I doing? What is a shell? Basic and blah, blah, rebel, simple iteration, blah, 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 bash the shell, just like, blah, blah, blah. Recap, shell runs in the terminal. What would you want to see if you were watching this? Okay, I talk about what a terminal is, what a shell is. I can go in one of two directions. I can jump into immediately start teaching. Like, hey, I'm going to open up a folder on your desktop, and I'm going to make dir in your terminal, and I'm going to show that a directory is just a folder, that a file in ls is the same as a file in your folder, whatever. Or I could say why. So let me like, why use the terminal? This one's tough because if you clicked on this video, you probably don't need an answer to this. And maybe this could be roped up into, yeah. I did an RMRF in a presentation just so you can re-upload an OS on a Pi. That's awesome. Yeah, so my question is this. Why use a terminal? I can show some really cool, powerful features of a terminal, things I could do with the terminal. Like, hey, I have a folder of HEIC image files from an iPhone. What do I do with them? Well, let's convert them all to JPEG. Something like that. Oh, they're all too big. Let's resize them. This could be part of what is a terminal. This could be after I've explained a terminal or a shell. This could be at the beginning of a video. Like, I gotta hook someone in, right? Because I feel like a hook will be like literally, I imagine the video starting off with like, yo, what's up, everyone? My name's Dave, and today I'm going to teach you how to use the terminal. I'm going to teach you how to use Bash. I'm going to teach you Bash scripting, all of these crazy advanced techniques, but also I'm going to hold your hand if you're a beginner. If you've never seen this stuff and you're afraid of the terminal and you find this stuff intimidating, don't worry. I am going to demystify everything today. So if you're watching this video, you might be asking, why? Why do I want to learn this stuff? Well, let me show you some of the cool things you can do with the terminal. Okay, I'm sold. Actually, that goes at the beginning of the video. Yeah, we need the why. The hook has to go first. I have to sell you at the beginning of the video, and then we can talk about what a terminal is. Convert folder full of HEIC to JPEG. What else can we do? We'll come up with some fun stuff here, I think, that we could do. Designer. Photographer. Designer. Convert PSD file to PDF. So we'll come up with, we got to come up with some more cool examples. Sell the watcher on why this is cool. There we go. I found your stuff for jumping into more DevOps stuff, writing custom scripts. No, I'm not doing everything correct, but it's better than what existed. Nothing. I want to make it more polished, but I haven't gone deep enough yet. That's why I'm looking forward to this course. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's good to know. I'm glad to see like what brings people here. I think that's cool. Rename files based on C time. I like that. Who would I sell that to? Yeah, because I'm imagining like a cute thing, right? If you're a photographer and you have a folder full of HEIC files, you don't know what these are? Hey, look at this. We can convert them to JPEG. Normal person who's not a photographer, convert folder full of WebP. Because I can imagine this, right? All right, let's say you're a photographer and you have a folder full of HEIC files and you want to send it to a client, but you don't want to give them HEIC files. You want to give them JPEG files. They're more likely to be able to open them. Check this out. Here's a quick little script. Bam, run it. All your files are now JPEGs. Hey, maybe you're not a photographer. You're just a normal person. No, that's a bad one. It's probably going to be problematic language. I'd have to think about how to approach this differently. But long story short, you get the idea. You're a photographer. Here's how to turn HEICs into JPEGs. Oh, you're not a photographer and you have a bunch of WebP files and have no idea what they are? Yeah, me neither. But we can turn them into JPEGs. You know, we could do something like that. You're a designer. Maybe you have a PSD file and you want to convert it to a PDF. That's amazing. Are you none of these things? Well, look at what we can do. Each file has a time associated with it when it was created. Actually, technically changed. I won't get into that. We'll get into times later. We have a time where this file did something. We can rename the file based on this time. Yeah. Yeah, rename pics based on geodata. That's a pretty cool one too. I like that. Let's see. Can I buy our Udemy course? Nope, you can't because it won't be for sale. It'll be on YouTube. College students may be competing in competition, so learning the CLI is mad helpful. Yeah, that's true. That is true. People love their CLI competitions and stuff. Metadata on MP3. Yeah, we could do something. I'm trying to think. Still stuck in the early 2000s? Because I am. convert FLAC files to MP3 and rename them based on tags. And I'll come up with scripts that do all this stuff. Let's see. Today I used echo my text pipe tr to make text uppercase. Hey, that's awesome. That's fun stuff. If you're in Bash, you can just use Bash built-ins depending on what version of Bash you're in. So if you have like, you know, echo my text, don't get me wrong, this is totally fine. You can just do tr, what is it? Lower to upper. I think this is totally fine. Yeah, that works. If you're in Bash though, and you have it as like a variable, like my test, you can echo a up, and this will uppercase it. And I think there's also comma for down, which won't do anything because they're already like whatever. But I could say like, hello world. And then you can see that it made it all lowercase and this made it all uppercase. So that's fun. Add suffixes to files with one line of code. That's the time one basically. Yeah, we can do stuff like that. How about files and bits like mtime, btime, write a shell script file. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, that's you're just throwing out ideas, man. Yeah, I'm definitely there's gonna be homework and stuff with this. There's gonna be things that I want people to solve, and my plan, what I'm envisioning is that I'll give some homework at the end of a chapter, and then at the beginning of the next chapter we might go over the homework, something like that. Learning the CLI opens the door to more OSs too. That's a general thing though. Yeah, that's true. That is a useful thing of this. I dubbed thyself idea man. Yeah, well, make sure the ideas are good, man. Are you converting these images with image magic, or is it native to Bash? It would be image magic. So this would not be Bash native stuff. There'd be no Bash. There's no Bash native stuff I'm aware of that would do this. I'm thinking image magic, or if you're on a Mac, you could use like the sips command, SIPS. I found the terminal was helpful once amps and GUIs became more frustrating than helpful. Yeah. Oh, that's a perfect way of saying it. Any reason to prefer echo pipe tr to tr read in from text? I mean, no. I assume in the example this person was using that, like, that was just to illustrate the concept of where the data was coming from and to. But no, there'd be no reason to prefer the pipeline there. When I learned Bash, I think seeing a super complex one-liner from a senior administrator is what sucked me in. Yeah, it's kind of crazy what you can do with it, right? It looks almost like wild, and you're like, oh wait, this actually does something? That's crazy. Yeah. Got PTSD from my work. That's why I asked. Yeah. Do something like Bashman LS or no. I'm not. I don't know if I would show a Bash Twitch bot or a Discord bot. I'd have to think. If I'm sucking someone in. No, we're not even talking about the course at this point. We should move on from this. We're talking about making a YouTube video, which, no offense, guys, I'm good at this. I don't know why you would take offense to me saying that. I don't know why you would take offense to me saying this. I'm fine. I can make videos interesting. I know how to make a hook. How humble? No, this is not humble, and this is not modest. I'm very good at this. I know for a fact I'm good at this. I excel at this. I'm well aware of my strengths and my weaknesses. This is one of my strengths. I can hook people in. I can make people listen. I'm an incredible storyteller, and I know how to grab people's attention and maintain their attention. You see that? I'm really good at it. Let's see. Image magic and HCRMS to work with. Specific version on some version might help. Might on some OS. Yeah, it is. But these will just be examples. I'm thinking at the beginning. At the beginning of the video, this will just be hooking people in. It's because this is literally not even really a chapter. This is just the beginning of the YouTube video. Why use the terminal? So hey guys, here's some really cool things you can do with the terminal, and in this course, I'll teach you how to do some of the stuff. You're a photographer and you have a folder full of HCIC files and you want to send them to a client, but you're worried they might not be able to open them. Hey, let's turn them into JPEG things. Oh hey, you're not a photographer, you're just a normal person who ended up pulling some WebP files from a browser, and you don't know what to do with them. Cool, we're going to convert them into a folder of JPEG now. Are you a designer? Cool, you want to convert a PSD file to a PDF? Hey, that's super useful. That's amazing. Hey, are you still stuck in the early 2000s? Because I am, and you want to convert your FLAC files to MP3 and rename them based on the tags? Awesome. We can even rename files based on CTime. And you know what else? Renaming files is 1%, is barely 1% of what the terminal can do for you. LMAO, because all these are file and image resizing things. Yeah, resize photos. Resize photos are super good. Yeah, designer, convert PSD to PDF. Resize web designer. Resize image files and reduce quality for thumbnails. Because ImageMagick takes a dash, quality option. You know what else? Renaming files is barely 1% of what the terminal can do for you. So we could talk about some other things the terminal can do for you. I'll have to come up with more examples, but I'm sure there's like a million things I'm not thinking of right now. You could make your whole website accessible over the terminal. So instead of having to go to a web browser, you can see it here. Yeah. Maybe a cron job backup a folder on another drive. Oh yeah, backups and stuff are super good. Oh my, yeah, that's really good. Yeah, stitching PDFs is a good one. That probably, people would probably love that. Oh my God. Now let's get away from the file converting ones. What else can we do? This one would be good. Oh, I'm not going to click on a link. The separate PDFs that could be stitched together. Oh, you mean like given an example of like what they could do? Yeah, this is just going to be like, these are examples that I'm going to do really fast the video to hook you in and be like, do you want to learn how to do all this yourself? Well, don't worry. Everything I just did is going to be in this tutorial. I'll go over it in more detail towards the end. All of the code that I used is up here available for free, just like this course that you are watching now. If you paid money for this course, go get your money back. I will teach you how to go from knowing absolutely nothing about this to being able to do what I just did. Stick with me. So it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. I like the cron job backup folder idea. Renaming files is barely 1% of what back up your data to other machines or drives. Rsync a folder to a thumb drive. Yes, I could be like, okay, here I have here I have a 500 gigabyte thumb drive. Let me plug it into my machine, run this little program, and now it's backed up. Like yes, I think that's super useful for people to see. That's a good one. Let's see. Searching file content through hundreds of files. Oh, that is such a good one. Oh my God. Yeah. Collection of texts. Search for file contents. Author. Get a word frequency count of your works. Things like this. You could even make like a glossary, literally. Could you do terminal graphic stuff? Maybe. That might be cute. Yeah, I think throwing in Kause would be cute. Because all this stuff is very like, like, oh, here's how you back up an entire drive. Here's how you convert these files. Do you like cows? Draw a picture of a cow. Look, he's talking to you. Do you want to back up your data? So like, intersperse the really funny stuff with the very serious stuff. I want to overwhelm the user with very serious things to show that it's incredibly powerful, but I also want to step back and be like, hey, get your fortune. Yeah. So like, fortune command. I want to have that in there. You know what I mean? Terminals needed for remote access stuff. Yeah. I don't know how I'd throw that in at the beginning. Like, the string is in some of that folder, but which one? Yep. That's not making your own back history fuzzy finder. these ideas, I'm not going to do a lesson on a whole back history fuzzy finder. That'd be a YouTube video in itself. That would not be part of a bash lesson thing. You know what fuzzy finder is, right? I do. Yes, I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that everyone uses FZF or whatever. You can use @win or whatever. This is so outside the realm. I'm glad it's useful. It's so completely outside the realm of this course. For anyone who's just joining in, this chatter is my friend IRL. That's why I am meaner to him than any other chatter. That is what's happening here. If you think I'm being a little bit short with this person, that's why. Yep. Thing I built once was a thing that tested internet speed at work, and then depending on thresholds, changed the color of a hue light if the internet was fast, green, slow. That's cute. That's cute. I like that. I like that. Talking about IoT stuff. Yeah, because now we're pulling in, like Turkey says, we're pulling in the terminal, the network here. Oh, I have Shelly Wi-Fi bulbs. You know what's actually really funny? There's a command. I don't know if you guys are. So you use a Hue bulb, right? There's a couple things. There's Hue.js, which is like a Hue JavaScript library, and there's Hue ADM. Hue ADM is the name of the command. Let me see if I actually have some examples of it. Yeah, there's this command called like Hue ADM where you can say like Hue ADM light 15 off, and it will turn it off. You can get JSON output with it. We could say turn light 15 green, and it will set it to on with this hue, saturation, and brightness and stuff. Yeah, I wrote this command. So, yeah. This command, I think I wrote this command like 10 years ago now. 8 years ago. Oh boy. It just uses the REST API that was a part of it. But yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, you could just curl this stuff, but I wrote like a little like wrapper program around it. I used to have a whole bunch of hue lights. I don't have these anymore. But this was fun. This was fun. Let's see. Asking nerds for teaching ideas is definitely not going to result in 50 million niche ideas. It's true. It's true. Let me back up and remind you all. I'm trying to think of quick little things I could show at the beginning of the video to show why this might be fun for people. That's it. What about a file watcher that prints new files created on network share? That one I did recently. That's a cool one. Yeah, let me think. Pimp your terminal would be cool. Oh yeah, that's true. People do like the customizing the look of it and stuff. Yeah, I think we have a ton here to make. I think all these ideas at the beginning of a video, and like the way I plan on editing this is like shotgunning them. Be like, hey, you want to rename these files? Look at that. Bam. Hey, you want to draw a little cow? There he is. Fortune command. You ever mistype a command and you want it to make fun of you? Run SL and train. Get the little train that goes across the screen. Yeah. Turn on and off a Wi-Fi light bulb. I can literally do, I can hold a light bulb here and then run a command and watch it actually change. Yeah. That would be fun. Pimp your terminal would be cool for people who love customizing. Show how to watch Star Wars in ASCII. That's, oh yeah, everyone loves that one. Oh yeah. Filtering and selecting data into CSV. That could be really, really useful for people, actually. That's like super useful for people, yeah. All right, I think we're good with ideas. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good with ideas right now, because this is a ton. This is a ton. Because basically what I'm doing is I'm selling the terminal here. I'm doing a lot here. This is going to be the beginning. Okay. I'm going to give you guys, this is insight into my video creation thing. And like I told Warforged, like, yeah, I'm a humble guy, but I'm not humble about this. I think I know how to make decently entertaining stuff. I like this idea for the beginning of a video. We're going to jump right into it. Be like, what's up, everyone? Today, I'm going to teach you how to do this, blah, blah, blah. We'll jump right into it. So you might be asking yourself, what can I do with it? Like, I don't know if I'll jump into the cool features first or talk about how I'm going to hold your hand, but let's see. We'll be like All right, so here are the cool things you can do with the terminal, and here's why you'd want to use one, and then we'll bang through all these. Hey, are you a photographer? Maybe if you're not even a tech guy, you're a photographer and you have a folder full of this, here's how to change it. You're a designer, here's how to convert a Photoshop document into a PDF. Web designer, here's how to resize images. Not a designer, we can stitch PDF files together. You still stuck in the early 2000s? We can convert FLAC files to MP3 and rename them based on tags. None of the above, rename files based on their change modified time, things like that. You know what else? We can do things other than renaming files. We can back up your data to other machines or send it to like a thumb drive. Do you have CSV data from your boring desk job, your fake email job? Well, here's how we can filter it out for you. Do you have a collection of text? Well, then we can search for file contents in those collections of text really fast. You're an author? We can get a word frequency count of your works. Do you want to draw a cow? Look how cute this is. And then you want your fortune? We can also do this. We can turn on and off a Wi-Fi bulb. This is going to cut between all of these ideas. We can watch Star Wars in the terminal. And you know what? I'm going to teach you guys how to do all of this. And if you've seen all this stuff before and you want someone who's very passionate about what you're going to see, stay tuned. If you've never seen this stuff before and you are very scared and you think you've clicked onto the wrong video, don't worry, you have not. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to talk to you like you've never seen any of this stuff before, and I'm going to show you how to do this. That's how I plan on doing the video. I think that's going to be useful. Yeah, that's my plan. Let's see. SQ Aquarium is also really cool. Oh yeah, I think it is really cool. I think there's a Twitch stream that does like 24/7, which is kind of neat. Any plans about mentioning T-Put? Maybe if we start drawing with it. I don't know. I don't really have any plans right now. Playing the theme with your internal speaker. Yeah. Converting PSD to PDF is a banger. I think it is too. Because I know a lot of designers who go to ad ridden websites to do things like this. It's like, dude, you don't need to live like this, man. There are better ways. Yeah. Do you got an editor, like video person making timestamp sections or sponsors? Sign up for, bro. I don't have that. I'm going to edit it all myself. Yep. Nope. I am the editor. Okay. Yo, thank you, Torben, for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, have a good night. Take care. All right, let's get some more chapters done, and then we can call it a night here. What is a terminal? What is a shell? We've talked about. So at this point, I've told you why to use a terminal, why it's cool. Now we're going to talk about what is a terminal. We're going to talk about what the shell is, and now I think we'll talk about getting up and running. Explain the environment, Ubuntu desktop, go over how to replicate it, use a VBox VM, use Ubuntu on your actual machine, just follow along. There will be homework I encourage you to do. Yep. Yeah, I think this can just be its own section, and that's fine. It'll just be its own section on how to get started. Making container management system in shell. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think doing an actual project is a cool way to learn. Explain the environment Ubuntu desktop. Go over how to replicate it. Use a VBox VM. Use Ubuntu on your actual machine. Just follow along. If you don't have Linux, you can still get something out of this, but your experience may be limited. And we'll know that more as I design more of the course. All right, so now that we're here, we have an environment up and running. You have, theoretically, we have an Ubuntu virtual machine. We have a terminal. at the end of this, we should be able to open the terminal and run hello world. We should be able to echo hello world to the screen. Okay. Basic command execution. Talk about echo hello world. I don't know. What should we do here? Basic command execution. I'd have to think about... CD ls directories. Yeah, I think so. Are we there yet? Because in my mind, I could sit here and explain standard out and standard error and stuff, but I don't think that's relevant yet. I actually think we need to start using this thing before we fully understand it. The terminal is going to be like a black box. I mean, literally, it's going to be a black box on the person's screen. So, I mean, it's very fitting. So I think that we need to start with that mentality of just running commands, it being like a black box, and then I can explain as things go on. Reading from standard in, handling arguments and flags, redirecting. No, that stuff is way more advanced than this chapter. It will be in my guide, but that stuff will not be in this chapter. That is way too advanced for this. This is for someone who's never typed commands yet. Explain how the file system works. Yeah, we might have to get there. I'm trying to think if that happens now or if there's intermediate things between that. But I think you're right. I think some of the first commands you run are CD, ls, and stuff. So, like, I think it does make sense to tie this in with the file system. Echo hello world. Yeah, I think we go to the file system first, and then we come back and start learning, honestly, learning scripting sooner rather than later might be better, because then I can talk about variables and stuff. But we'll see. Go hello world. Open folder to, I don't know. Open folder to home directory. Run ls. Make folder. Click into documents. Run cd. No. Make dir bash course. See it show up. Yeah, we'll yeah, maybe this is where we just start talking about file systems. I think this is right. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine an example. Like, we open a folder to a home directory, you run ls, you can see it. Make dir bash course, see it show up. Cd bash course. Also open it in File Explorer. We'll do all these in tandem. Touch foo.txt, cat foo.txt, edit foo.txt with GUI, cat foo.txt. I mean, I'm just kind of going through a whole playbook now. Echo hi into foo.txt, cat foo.txt. I think this is, yeah, we're just gonna do basic stuff like this. Touch foo.txt. Notice that it doesn't do anything, and then yeah, I don't even need to get this specific. Like, I can wing this. rm foo.txt ls rm foo.txt again. Notice that it creates an error message. You got it. You got it. Let's see. When I first started not too long ago, I was confused about the who, what, when, where, and why, if that makes sense. Like, how does this work? Why do paths matter? Open files, etc. Just basic. Yeah, I have to anticipate some of these questions, I think, because this is a course. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a professor in a lecture hall. I can't answer questions. Or I guess I am close to a professor in a lecture hall. I can't answer questions, so I have to kind of preempt a lot of these questions. Simple scripts like the rename file based on parameter XY would be great. Tie back to the intro. Yes. Could even use it to show how to turn scripts into commands. True, yeah. Add a nice flag on one of the simpler commands and show how to learn what it does by using man. Yes, that's a good idea. Globbing. Oh yeah, we'll get into that. Okay. The convention of foo might be weird to a beginner. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. That's a super good point. Let's call it, we're just going to call it lesson.text. And then, yes. Oh, that's such a good point. We'll do rm-i. Move lesson.text to new.text. RM is scary, try rm-i. So we'll explain the concept of arguments, kind of, and interactive RMs and stuff like that. Multi-line echo and here document? No. Yes, but not now. Absolutely not. Not even close to right now. But that'll be in the future. Make-dir-p is a mind blower. Yeah. It totally is a mind blower. I think making references along the way, saying how this is the terminal way of a GUI, like instead of clicking an icon, you type this. Yeah, really drill that, like, there's the GUI way of doing it, there's a terminal way of doing it, but at the end of the day, they're both just files on your system. Let's see, basic command execution. RM is scary, try rm-i. So we know how to create directories. CD changers, rename files and remove files. Homework, basic file system manipulation. So give someone like some sort of, like, make it so when you run ls, this is the output you get. We'll do something like that. Basic command execution. I think that might be good for a whole chapter. Basic command execution. We'll need better titles for these. Okay. Let's add on to what we know. rm-i seems useful now. Can we make it the default? Now this might be too much, but alias rm equals rm-i. Just show them that we can set up an alias. Not explain it too much, but this might be for the person who gets scared at how easily it is to delete a file. Because there is no recycle bin. That can be very scary for people. Also, can be easy to get lost. Here's pwd. We can give them the pwd command. Let's say we want to touch move in CP. Yeah, we had lesson before. What if we had a lesson1.text? And then we wanted to edit some file, you know, whatever. And then we actually wanted to start a second lesson. Well, we can CP lesson1.text to lesson2.text. Now we have a copy of it. We've actually copied. So CP versus MV. We could talk about that. Copying files is super useful. Being able to change them. Yeah, how to read man pages. We'll get to that. That's a good one, I think. Actually, yeah, that's a good segue. That's a good one, because we can put this towards the bottom where at the end. Let's rm lesson star.text, because this will delete. Yeah, this is a good one. Rm all these. Gloss over globbing. We'll explain globbing later. Show that, look how we just deleted those files, and that can be scary, so we should try rm-i for interactive next. Hey, I really like that command. Let's use the alias here. So let's do this. After I teach them rm-i, I can show them how to get all of the options out of it. This might be overwhelming. Maybe we'll move these to separate chapters. We'll see. I guess it depends on how long the videos end up being. Yeah, all right, let's see what I'm missing here. You can make a trash can in Bash. You can have RM have a trash can. No reason you can't. Are you saying that trash is a built-in thing to Bash that I can just enable? Or are you saying that I can write aliases and functions for RM that manually handle creating a trash? Make dir trash alias move. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're just talking about creating an alias then to move things there. No. If it was some sort of built-in thing to the shell, I would do it. But at this point, this is way too confusing for a person who's just starting out. We could create something like that, but there's all sorts of issues that come with that. Like, what if I remove a directory and then I remove a file with the same base name as the directory? It will get moved into that directory inside the trash. What if I then try to remove another directory with the same name as the existing directory? I'll get an error because I tried to move a directory into a directory. Like, name conflicts become a real issue in a trash bin type of thing. And I don't want to have to touch on those. I don't have to touch on E as dir, errors you can get like that. So if the thought process is you can't and don't have a trash, I'm just saying you can totally do whatever you want, which is a lot of the power of Bash. Totally not a good idea. Oh, okay. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yes, you have the power to this. Sorry, I took yours totally literally. But yeah, philosophically, this is a really good thing to bring up, that we don't have a trash. We could implement it. Yeah. That's a good idea. We don't have a trash. We could implement it. And that's the lesson about the shell and Linux and Unix in general. You always have the option to make your own. LOL. Like, I think that's a good thing to touch on. Like, if you ever find yourself asking, like, could it work like this? The answer is almost certainly yes. The question is, should it? And you learn how to differentiate those two questions. That's a really good point. Yeah, that's okay. That's a really good point. Sorry, I took it so literally what you said, but yeah, that's a really good point. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Same thing in the Twitch chat. Yeah. PWD versus dir name of $0. Are you asking me that, or do you think that I should talk about that? Because the PWD and the dir name of $0 are totally separate things. Like, totally separate. Head, tail, less. Yeah. We'll get to those. I'm trying to imagine this actual lesson. Okay. like, how long would these videos be? We can always move these things around. Homework. What argument flag can I give ls to see hidden files? Ooh, this is a good one. Really simple one, but like, I can leave the user with a touch dot, you know, lesson dot text, something like that, and then say, you know, ls and show that it doesn't show up, and be like, why doesn't it show up? And then kind of in the next chapter I can explain something pretty cool, like, hey, there's nothing inherently hidden about this file. Your kernel's not hiding it from you, your system's not hiding it from you. It just starts with a dot, so the program ls doesn't show it to you. That's literally, there's nothing special about it. The only thing special is that all the programs around you decide to treat it specially. Like, we all just agree that putting a dot in front of it is good enough. Yeah, that's a cool thing to talk about. Amazing stuff. Keep it up. I'm trying. Set is fundamental, right? Oh, yeah, set is awk, sed, and grep are 1000% making it in here. They might not make it in here in the first hour or two of the lesson, but they are 1000 million% going to make it in here. Yeah, I think for the homework for this one, we can come up with homework later too, but like, I do want to keep the homework simple and probably make it more complex as we go along, but I think it'd be good for someone to like look into a man page and see like, okay, we have ls, how do we actually view that file? Yeah. Oh, I'm tired. You're doing great work here. You know, appreciate it. Octua, thank you. Nice comment. Oh man. Oh my god. My body feels so sore. It feels weird. I took the day off of doing cardio today. Well, I mean, if you were here earlier, you heard me say that. My watch is yelling at me. It's like, hey, my Garmin watch tells me I'm strained, that my training readiness is low, my HRV is low, and my stress is high because I think I've been overtraining. I've been doing too much cardio, so I took the day off, and I'm antsy now. I literally want to go run on my treadmill. Like, it's bad. But I'm forcing myself to take the day off. So, oh no, we can't close Vim. That's impossible. I just pretend to close Vim every time. Yeah, closing Vim is super easy. PSEF, pipe grep, Vim. We get that PID from it, then we kill it. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding. Yeah, these are interesting because it's hard to estimate how much time this will make. Because, like, okay, if you've watched my YouTube videos before, you know I make videos like You Suck at Programming, and they're like 2 to 5 minute, easily digestible bash trick videos. I'm imagining these will be similar. They won't be as fast paced. I'll go at a decent pace where you can actually keep up. This is meant to teach more than it's meant to entertain. You Suck at Programming is meant to teach, but I think entertainment came first with that. With this lesson, I think education is going to come first. So I will be boring if it means I can give you better education. Whereas with the You Suck at Programming, I will forego being boring. I will prioritize entertainment above all. That's the difference here. So I just need to make sure that this can be like, can I turn this into how long will these videos be? Because like, I imagined each chapter would take 20 minutes, but like, it's not going to take 20 minutes. Like if we have this right here, I feel like turning this into 20 minutes is a stretch. But I could be wrong because I am going to be going slow, and it usually takes longer than you think to explain something. It might be worth it for me to run through this and then get an idea of how much time it would take. Like literally talk to you guys like I'm giving a lesson and then see how long it takes and then get an idea. But I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm a little bit burnt. I'm in info dump mode, not entertainment mode right now. So yeah, if these end up being the same one, that's okay. Oh, you know what I could also do? Some resources. BGFG, yeah. The Gutenberg. It's like that. Is it ERG or URG? I don't know. Free books. Curl or wget some and grep them. They could be super useful for grepping out of them or something like that. There's also user share dict words, I think. Check if this exists. That could be super useful. Because once we're down here, we've moved files around. Now we should be able to search inside files. Grep said awk. No, that's way too much. Grep. I think that's too much. You know what's crazy? I made an introduction to Unix guide a million years ago. I'm looking at it right now. Let's see if I want to share it on stream. For a web design course I took as part of my minor in school, I made a website for Unix, and then a couple years after I graduated, I cleaned it up and put it on GitHub. I could actually just go through this. Yeah, I made this little website, and it's on GitHub, unix.daveeddy.com, and it has like a whole introduction. There's like a getting started. I haven't looked through this in a million years. I talk about Bash. Talk about the terminal. God, look how ugly my terminal was back then. This code, I mean, I cleaned up the code a couple of years after, so 13 years ago. So this was after I graduated that I cleaned up the code. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. 2012, yes, this is after. I could go through this and get some. Oh, I even talk about like the file system and stuff here. I can't tell you how good any of this stuff is. Advanced Bash, look what I was talking about 13 years ago. I was built for this, man. Hey, I'm using Nano back then. Hello, Dave. You are 21 years old. Yeah, man. This is old, guys. This is old. How fun, though. So if this is your proof that I've loved Bash forever, I really have. Wow, that's so funny. Environmental variables, Bash RC. I might go through this. because this kind of gives me insight into like how I was thinking, and I was not the most well versed on all this stuff. So this might give me insight into someone who has less knowledge. This is cool. This is cool to see. I didn't talk about conditional statements. Oh my god. Loops. Yeah, let's go, dude. Common mistakes for file in LS. This is the first video of the You Suck at Programming series. That's hilarious. Wow, dude. I haven't seen this page in a million years. Good for me for putting my stuff up on the internet. Copyright 2012, baby. That's incredible. Ugh. Permissions are first confusing when you see them in LS. Yeah, that's why I'm staying away from LS-L yet. We'll get there. But yeah, it can definitely be a little bit confusing. Looks legit to me. Yeah, man. Totally does. This is so funny. Yeah. 2012 Dave knew what he was doing. Yo, for real though. Like for real, man. I'm just writing in my terminal, use unix.dave as a loose guide. Okay. All right. I don't know where path would fit in. We'll get there. I don't know if I already answered your question or not. I think I'm a little bit burnt out. I'm tired. I think I'm going to call it here for tonight on the stream. We didn't get as much done in the term of outline that I wanted to, but that's okay because we figured out what the course will actually look like, decided on Ubuntu and what the actual implementation of the course is. So I think that's huge. I don't know if the chapters will be 20 minutes. They don't have to be 20 minutes. They can be however long I want them to be. It could be a series of smaller chapters. Like I don't want to bore people with lectures. So yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, I think we're good here. All right, I'm going to commit what I have. Okay. And I've pushed it. All right. Well, I'm going to call it here. I'm tired. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it. I know these streams can be a little bit boring. I don't think people mind as much as I do. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to stream the whole process. I might not stream the entire process of making this course. I may revisit some of this stuff on my own. Who knows? Maybe I won't. I don't actually know what I'll do. But yeah, I totally forgot about unix.david.com. That's super funny because like I've already done some of this work. But yeah, we're definitely talking about permissions. We'll talk about the binary that goes into them. There's a lot of fun stuff there. There's so many things to talk about. It's crazy. Yeah. Cool stream, Dave. Keep being awesome, man. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you, non-playable character. Appreciate it. That's super nice. And thank you for everyone for tuning in. If you like what you see and you want more of it, you're on Twitch, go ahead and hit that follow button. It's totally free. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and donate $8 million. I'm just joking. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's right down there below the video. It's cool when you guys hit that button because it makes the number get bigger. And that's awesome. All right. Thank you for hanging out. Well, thank you for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. It's awesome. I love having people stop by and jump in. I think it's super cool. Yeah, I'm going to call it here. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Thank you for